Hi guys, welcome to another video. In this video we'll be discussing a question bank for GST and for the chapter value of supply. Okay, without any further delay, let's just get into it. Okay, so the first question is the following are the particulars relating to one of the machines sold by ABC to PQR Limited for the month of February 2024. The list price is 8,40,000. Okay, let's just start writing the questions down, the details down. Okay, so firstly the list price, let's write particulars, okay, and then the amount in rupees. Okay. So the list price is 8,40,000, that is exclusive of taxes and discounts. So 8,40,000, right? Next we'll see what other details have been given. Okay, municipal taxes chargeable on the machine. So as per section 15 subsection 2 clause A, which talks about taxes other than GST and TCS, right? So that has to be added to the value of supply. Okay, so we'll just add that also, plus municipal taxes. I'll just put MT. Okay, municipal taxes, this will give the explanation in note number 1. Okay, next, that is almost 39,000. okay, next, outward freight charges. Contract was to deliver machine at PQR's limited factory, FOR contract. Okay, right. Next, so that is outward freight charges, right? So that will also be includable in the value of supply, through which section? Incidental expense, the clause that relates to incidental expenses, right? So we'll just add that also. Okay, outward freight, right? That is almost 60,000. okay, 60,000. okay, that explanation will given note number 2. okay, next, additional information. Okay, ABC Limited normally gives an interest-free credit period for 30 days. After that it charges 1% per month or part thereof. PQR Limited paid, we'll just highlight this. Okay, PQR Limited paid after 45 days. Okay, but ABC Limited waived off. Okay, so here ABC Limited has waived it off. So if there is no interest, then there is no problem, we don't have to add it to the value. If the supplier has waived it off, then it won't be added to the value of supply. Okay, we'll just put plus interest, then we'll give in note number 3, right? Note 3, and then we'll just put nil here. Okay, because it is not to be included, because it is waived off. If it is waived off, then it is not to be added to the value of supply. Suppose it was not waived off, then we'll calculate the amount, and based on whether it is inclusive of GST or exclusive of GST, we'll put in the amount over here. Okay, clear? Next, ABC Limited received 45,000 as subsidy from one NGO on sale of machinery. Okay, subsidy received from NGO. Okay, meaning it is a non-governmental entity that is giving a subsidy. Okay, non-government entity that is giving a subsidy. Is that allowed? No. Okay, as per section 15 subsection 2 clause E, that relates to subsidy, it is not allowed. Okay, so this amount, and anyway it is not linked to the price also, so it is not considered. Okay, so meaning it is not included in this 8,40,000. What are the two questions you're supposed to ask yourself? Should it be included, or rather should it be subtracted? Okay, should it be subtracted? Have they subtracted? Okay, these two questions you'll have to ask yourself. Okay, have they relating to the question, you'll have to ask yourself relating to the question. Okay, now, should non-government entity, non-price link subsidy be included in the value? The answer is, or rather it should not be subtracted. Should it be subtracted from the value? Answer is no. Okay, so should it be subtracted? No. Have they subtracted? No. Meaning what they have done is correct. So what do we do with that adjustment? We have to ignore it. Okay, not every adjustment requires you to add it to the value of supply, right? So here again we will add one more plus subsidy again, or rather plus or minus subsidy, and then we'll put note 4, or rather we don't have to do this, we can just add it in the notes itself. and then we'll just put another dash, okay, meaning we are ignoring it, we're not giving any effect, we're not adding it also, we're not subtracting it also. Okay, next. PQR deducted discount of 11,000 at the time of final payment, which is not as per agreement, meaning this was given post supply. Okay, as per section 15, subsection 2 clause, or rather it is not subsection 2, it is subsection 3, section 15 subsection 3, which deals with what are the amounts that are to be excluded. Okay, like if you are not able to tell these sections, or if you are not able to quote these sections, no problem. Okay, but I would request you to watch that video before, right, the previous videos that I've uploaded where I've done the revision of all this, right. If you watch that, you will be able to quote like this itself. Okay, next. So PQR Limited has deducted discount of 11,000, meaning it is a post supply discount. Okay, so basically what they're trying to tell in this statement is that it is a post supply discount, okay, which is not allowed as per section 15 subsection 3. Okay, so again we'll just add it, we'll just put discount. Have they, this is not taken into this 8,40,000, right? I'll just read it again, which is not as per the agreement. Okay, meaning at the time of final payment. Okay, so it is not included in the list price also, right? So we'll just add 0. Again we'll put this under note 5. Okay, next. Okay, next. ABC Limited collected 8,400 as TCS as per the provisions. Okay, the amount collected as per TCS and GST are not to be added to the value of supply. That is as per section 15 subsection 2 clause A. Okay, meaning any tax other than GST and TCS is to be included, meaning GST and TCS are not to be included. So any tax other than GST and TCS. Okay, so since it is excluded by that particular clause, we will not be taking it into consideration. Okay, again we'll just put plus TCS, and we'll put note number 6, and then we won't add it here. Okay, we'll just put a dash again. Okay, so what is the value of supply? Value of supply, the value of supply is 8,40,000 plus 39,000 plus 60,000, that comes up to 9,39,000. okay, which is simple, right? Now we'll just start writing the notes. Okay, so as per note number 1 was relating to the municipal tax, right? Note 1 was relating to municipal tax. Okay, so here as per section 15 subsection 2 clause A, any tax other than GST and TCS is to be added to value of supply. Okay, added to value of supply, just put VOS. Okay, value of supply. Next, note number 2 is outward freight. Okay, now outward freight is a incidental expense, okay, which covers under that incidental expenses clause itself. Okay, so as per section 15 subsection 2 clause C, what do you see? Incidental expenses. Okay, so any incidental expenses, comma, commission, any commission that is paid, right, and packing expenses, or any other expenses, right, that is borne by the supplier. Okay, or at or before the time of supply, is to be added. Okay, time of supply, okay, is to be added, or rather you can put it is to be included also, included in value of supply. Okay, next we'll come to note 2 is done. Note 3, okay, which is relating to the interest. Okay, note 3, we can write as per section when do you have to pay interest? You have to pay interest when you have made delayed payment. Okay, delayed. Okay, as per section 15 subsection 2 clause D, if any interest amount, interest amount is waived off, interest amount is waived off, then it is not includable in the waived off, then it is not includable, then it is not includable in the value of supply, okay. Next, what is the note 4? Note 4 relates to the subsidy amount. Okay, I'll just write note 4 here. Okay, note 4 relates to the subsidy amount. Okay, as per subsidy, E subsidy. Okay, clause E subsidy, as per section 15 subsection 2 clause E, any subsidy other than price linked government subsidy is not to be subtracted from the value of supply, Okay, that is note 4. Next we'll move on to note number 5. Okay, so note 5, we'll talk about the discount, right? Here the discount is given under clause, no clause, it is given under subsection 3, which includes the exclusions, what are to be excluded from the value of supply, right? So as per section 15 subsection 3, any post supply discount shall not be given effect to the value of supply, Okay, next, note 6 is TCS again. Okay, note 6, as per, again this is relating to the taxes, right? Taxes, any tax other than GST and TCS is not to be included in the value of supply. Okay, however, like that's what in this same clause, exclusion was given to GST and TCS. Okay, as per section 12, or rather section 15 subsection 2 clause A, right? As per section 15 subsection 2 clause A, it was any amount, or rather TCS and GST are excluded by the clause, or are not to be included in value of supply. Okay, fairly simple, right? Next, is this clear? I mean, like, there's nobody to reply to over here, so cool. Okay, I'll just move on to the next one. Okay, second one. Saksham Limited, a registered dealer, a registered supplier in Lucknow, has supplied goods to Anil Traders and Kapil Limited, located in Gurgaon, Haryana and Meerut, okay, respectively. Saksham Limited has furnished the following details. Okay, so here the price of goods excluding GST. Okay, so 15,000 and 40,000. Packing charges 400 nil. Commission 600 nil. Right? Next, payment charges 3,000. And then discount for prompt payment, which is recorded in the invoice. Meaning this is a pre-supply invoice, or rather, pre-supply as in during or at the time of supply. Okay, so this is the during or at the before or at the time of supply. Okay, so this 2,000 rupee discount you can take. Here it is 0, here it is 0. Okay, nice. Okay, next item given in point 2 to 5 have not been considered while arriving. Okay, meaning this 15,000 and this 40,000 do not include these following amounts. Okay, clear? Next, compute the GST liability, CGST, SGST or IGST as the case may be, of Saksham Limited for the given month. Assume the rates of taxes to be as under. Okay, so basically 9, 9 and 18%. Okay, next we'll just start with this. Okay, first basically we'll have to find out the value of supply first. Okay, without knowing the value of supply, we will not be able to calculate the amount of GST. Okay, so here since they've given in two particular two traders, we'll also do it in that format only. Okay, so particulars, and then here Anil traders and Kapil Limited. Okay. Kapil Limited. Okay, next here the price of goods, right? Price of goods, here it is 15,000 and 40,000. 15,000 and 40,000. Okay, next packing charges is includable, right? Packing charges, these are incidental expenses, right? Note number 1. Okay. That is 400. Okay, 400 for Anil traders and 0 for Kapil Limited. Okay, next commission is also forms part of that incidental expenses only. Okay, so you can give it under the same explanation, note number 1. Okay, so here it is 600 and nil. Okay, next weighment charges also falls under the incidental charges only. So same note you can give. Okay, like you can explain all three in one note itself. Okay, next 0 and 3000, nil and 3000. Okay, next discount for prompt payment, discount. Now for this discount we'll have to make a separate note number 2. Okay, so that's 2000 rupees of discount. Okay, discount we'll have to subtract, obviously all this will be and okay, 2000 subtract. Okay, is there any other detail? No other details are given. Okay, so basically we had to take all the amounts that they had given, right? Now here Uttar Pradesh to Haryana, right? Uttar Pradesh to Haryana, meaning with Anil traders it is interstate, here it is interstate, meaning IGST will come. Okay, here IGST will come. This is with Kapil Limited, it is within the same state, within Uttar Pradesh only. So so here it will be intrastate, right? Here it will be intrastate and intrastate, and here CGST and SGST will come. Okay, next we'll just calculate. Okay, so 15,000 plus, so this will come out to 16,000, the value of supply, right? Value of supply. Okay, next here 40,000 plus 3,000, 43,000 minus 2,000, 41,000. Okay, next let's put IGST, CGST, SGST. Okay, here IGST has to come, so these will be nil. Here CGST and SGST have to come, so that will be nil. IGST of total 18%, CGST of 9% and SGST of 9%. Okay, so here 16,000 into 18%, so that will come out to 2,880. Okay, next for CGST and SGST, so it will be 41,000 into 9%, which is 3,690 and 3,690 respectively. Okay, now we'll just add this 16,000, this will become 18,880. Okay, and this will become 41,000 plus 3690 plus 3690, so this will come out to 48,380. Okay, so what have they asked in the question again? They've asked to compute the GST liability. Okay, GST liability of Saksham Limited, meaning the supplier. Okay, so Saksham Limited, the GST liability will be, okay, you can just put GST liability GST liability. Okay, now here we can add this. Okay, plus, so 18,880 plus 48,380, that will come out to 67,260. okay, so this is the GST liability of Saksham Limited for the month of which month? Some month. Okay, so it is for the for that month it is 67,260. okay, let's see if they've also come to the same conclusion, right? Yeah, okay, so here we'll just start writing the notes. Okay, so for these three it will be just color coded. Okay. So for these three it will be section 15, or you can just put note 1, right? Note 1, section 15, subsection 2, clause C. What do you see? Incidental expenses. Okay, so section 15, subsection 2, clause C. This relates to any incidental expenses, commission and packing charges, packing charges, and then weighment charges, before, etc., before or at the time of supply. Is includable in the value of supply. Okay, is that clear? I think that should be clear. Okay, next, note 2 for the discount. Note 2, you can write as per section 15, subsection 3, which deals with what the amounts that are to be excluded from value of supply. Okay, any pre-supply discount, any discount given before or at the time of supply, is to be excluded from value of supply. Okay, next, we can write notes for these also, stating that as this is interstate between two different states, IGST is coming. Okay, and for this Kapil Limited, as it is intrastate, CGST and SGST are coming. Okay, so that can be two separate notes, or you can put that under a single note. Okay, next, question number 3. Okay, Nitara Limited, a registered supplier in Ahmedabad, has provided the following. Okay, so here list price of machine supply. Okay, exclusive of 2 and 4, or rather from 2 to 4. Okay, so meaning these are not included, so these values are not included. Okay, so here tax levied by local authority. Okay, so here obviously that section 15 clause 2, rather subsection 2 clause A will come. Okay, so this has to be added. Okay, discount of 2% on the list price was provided, recorded in the invoice of the machine, meaning this is given at or before the time of supply, so it should be excluded from. Okay, so this 2% of 1 lakh, which is 2,000 rupees, is to be removed. Okay, so remove 2,000. This is as per section 15 subsection 3. Okay, next, packing expenses for safe transportation charged separately in the invoice, meaning the same packing and transportation charges as per section 15 subsection 2 clause C, which is incidental expenses. Okay, so these incidental expenses will form part of value of supply. So here as the correct answer will be 1 lakh plus 7,000. So here I just write again here, so 1 lakh plus 7,000, right, minus 2,000 plus 5,500. Okay, so 1 lakh plus 7,000 minus 2000 plus 5500, which will come up to 1,10,500. We'll just check if the answer is correct. Did we miss something? Oh yeah, we didn't read the full question. Oops, my bad. Okay, we just see the question. Okay, now Nitara Limited received 6,000 as subsidy from an NGO on sale of such machine. Okay, the price of 1 lakh is after considering such subsidy. Okay, when it comes to subsidy, two questions you are supposed to ask yourself is, should it be subtracted? Should it be subtracted? Right. And the second question is, have they subtracted? Have they subtracted? Question mark. Okay, so now it is almost 6,000 rupees, right? So 6,000 rupees, should it have been subtracted? It is from a non-government entity, and it is, have they given whether it is price linked or not? It doesn't matter if it's price linked or not, right? If it is from a non-government entity, then it is not eligible. Meaning, should it be subtracted? No. Have they subtracted? Yes. What do we do? Add back. Okay, meaning take out the effect of them removing it. Okay, so basically it will, again you'll have to add 6,000 more over here. Okay, so here 1 lakh, rather list price 1 lakh. Okay, list price 1 lakh, and then the 7,000 was relating to the local authority tax. Okay, local authority tax, that was 7,000, right? And then discount of 2,000. Okay, next packing expenses 5,500, and then subsidy, right, of 6,000 rupees. Okay, let's add all this up. So 1 lakh plus 7,000 minus 1 lakh plus 7,000 minus 2,000 plus 5,500 plus 6,000, so that comes up to 1,16,500. Okay. So I'm sure that you'll be able to write the reasons, right? The reason why we've taken this. This is the list price given as per the question, and this local authority taxes as per section 15 subsection 2 clause A. How do you remember that it is clause A? Because it is A, pay your taxes. Okay, when you remember taxes, we're talking about any tax that is paid other than GST and TCS. So you will have to add that into the valuation. Okay, next, any discount is to be excluded from value of supply if it is given pre-supply, meaning other than post-supply, pre-supply discounts are allowed. Okay, so if it is given before or at the time of supply, then it is to be excluded from the value of supply. Okay, this packing expenses is an incidental expense. What do you see? Incidental expenses. Okay, section 2 clause C, or rather section 15 subsection 2 clause C. Okay, now when it comes to subsidy, you'll have to write section 15 subsection 2 clause E subsidy, clause E subsidy. Okay, so any subsidy other than price linked government subsidy is not to be included in the value of supply. Basically, that is all you have to write. Okay, next. 3 questions done. Now we'll move to the 4th question. Okay, next. Miss Arya, a registered supplier in Kochi, has provided the following details in respect of her supplies made intrastate for the month. Okay, so by this intrastate, what do we know? That it is CGST and SGST. Okay, next, list price for intrastate exclusive of all these items, meaning all these items are not included in this 3,30,000. Okay, so the list price is 3,30,000. You have to obviously add that. Swachh Bharat cess levy, again any tax other than GST and TCS has to be added to the value of supply. That is as per section 15 subsection 2 clause A. Okay, next, packing expenses are incidental expenses, so section 15 subsection 2 clause C. Okay, next, discount of 1% on list price of goods which is provided and is recorded in the invoice, meaning This is a pre-supply discount. Pre-supply discounts are allowed. Okay, that is as per section 15 subsection 3. Okay, so 1% on the list price, meaning 1% of 3,30,000. Okay, clear? Next, subsidy received from state government for encouraging women. Okay, this is received from state government. It doesn't matter for what it is given, for irrespective of what the reason is. If it is from a state, if it is from state government or central government, or basically if it is given from the government and it is price linked, right, we're just going to assume that this is price linked subsidy. Okay, and then we're going to subtract it. Okay, this is to be subtracted. Okay, next, compute the value of taxable supplies and gross GST liability for Mrs. Arya for the month of March, assuming the rate of CGST and SGST of 9%. Okay, this is fairly simple, right? Okay, so the list price is 3,30,000, and then followed by Swachh Bharat cess of 12,500 rupees. Okay, this we will write in note 1. Okay, what is note 1? I mean, like, I'm sure you'll be able to write now. Okay, I'll just write the section number. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to write what is in that section, right? Next, next is the packing expenses. Okay, this will come under note number 2. Okay, this is to be included because any incidental expenses before or at the time, or rather before or at the time of supply, is to be included in the value of supply. Okay, next we'll have to subtract the discount. Okay, next we'll have to subtract the discount of 1%. Okay, this will give it in note number 3. Okay, so 3,30,000 minus, or rather into 1%, that will be 3,300. Okay, so 3,300 will be subtracted. Okay, next, subsidy from state government. What you will have to be careful when it comes to subsidies, whether it is already included here or not. Okay, as the question has already given that it is not included. Okay, so 2 to 5, meaning these from 0.2 to 0.5 is not included, meaning they have not taken that into consideration. So we will have to take into consideration and subtract here. Okay, so minus 5,000, that will come to 3,30,000 plus 12,500 plus 10,800 minus 3,300 minus 5,000, that is coming up to 3,45,000. Okay, so this is the value of supply. Okay, value of supply, and on this we'll calculate CGST plus SGST because both are intrastate supplies. Okay, or rather this is an intrastate supply. Okay, next we'll get or rather we'll just leave this at this. Okay, this is of 9% and this is also of 9%. If the question has not given any percentage, we will automatically assume 9% and 9%. Okay, so 3,45,000 into 9%, that comes up to 31,050. 31,050. Okay, next, GST liability will be, we'll just put 1 and 2. Okay, we'll just put 1 plus 2, which is equal to 62,100. Okay, clear? Oh, what will this be? This will be final, final price charged to consumer. Okay, you don't have to add them. Okay, so we'll just leave it at that. Okay, cool. Okay, now these notes, right? Note 1. I'll just tell it. Okay, this is as per section 15 subsection 2 clause A, which talks about any tax other than GST and TCS is to be excluded from the value of supply. Any tax other than TCS and GST is to be included in the value of supply. Okay, so if it is anything other than GST or TCS, then just add it to the value of supply. Clear? Next, coming to note number 2. Okay, note 2, packing expense is it is an incidental expense, right? So any incidental expense as per section 15 subsection 2 clause C. Okay, what do you see? Incidental expenses. Okay, so any incidental expenses that have that take place, right, before or at the time of supply is to be included in the value of supply. Okay, next, note number 3. As per section 15 subsection 3, which deals with the exclusions. Okay, what are the amounts that are to be excluded? So any amount any discount if given before or at the time of supply is to be excluded from the value of supply. Okay, if it is given before or at the time of supply, then it is to be excluded from the value of supply. Okay, next we'll come to note number 4. Okay, so note 4 talks about subsidy is given in section 15 subsection 2 clause E subsidy. Okay, so what did it say? Any government price linked subsidy, right? Any government subsidy that is price linked. Okay, so it must be price linked. Non price linked you cannot subtract from the value of supply. Any subsidy that is given from the government and it is price linked subsidy, then it can be excluded from the value of supply. Okay, or it can be removed from or it can be subtracted from the value of supply. Okay, cool. Next, we'll see question number 5, 6, 7. Okay, 5, 6, 7. Okay, no problem. Okay, next. Okay, so what have they given here? They've given Wonder Limited, Mumbai, a registered supplier in manufacturing chocolates and biscuits. It provides the following details of taxable interstate supply. Okay, interstate supply made by it for the month of October 2023. Okay, next, the list price is 12,40,000. Items already adjusted in the price. Okay, so this is a very fun question because they've already given some things that are already adjusted, some things that are not adjusted. Okay, here subsidy from central government for supply to government school. Okay, so here what are the questions that we are supposed to ask ourselves? The two questions, right? So first one is, should it be subtracted? Should it be subtracted? Right, should it be subtracted? Firstly, government subsidy, should it be subtracted? Yes, it should be subtracted. Second one, have they already subtracted? Have they subtracted? Yes, they've already subtracted. Yes, so we don't have to do anything, so we'll just ignore this amount. This is correct. Okay, it should have been subtracted, they've already subtracted, nothing doing. Okay, next, subsidy from trade association for supply of quality biscuits. Okay, now when it comes to non-government entity, we are not allowed to reduce from the value of supply. Should it be subtracted? No. So the answer is no here. Okay, have they subtracted it? Yes. Okay, so when it comes to non-government entity, they should not have subtracted it. So they have subtracted it. So what do? We'll have to add back. Okay, we'll have to add back that amount. Okay, next, so this 30,000 we'll have to add it to the value of supply. Okay, next, items not adjusted. Okay, items that are not adjusted in this 12,40,000. Okay, tax levied by municipal authority. Okay, this is as per section 15 subsection 2 clause A. We'll have to add this amount. Next, packing charges as per section 15 subsection 2 clause C. We'll have to add this amount because that is incidental expense. And next, late fee paid by the recipient of supply for delayed payment. Okay, so late fees we'll have to add it. Again, this is as per section 15 subsection 2 clause D. Okay, so when you have to pay late fees, when you made delayed, from delayed clause D. Okay, that's how you remember that clause. Okay, so all these three have to be added. We'll see if they've given any other. Okay, no other data is given. Okay, so basically we'll have to take the list price, right? List price is 12,40,000. Next, just check it, it's okay. And then the second one is subsidy from government, right? Subsidy from government. Okay, this we will not add. Why? We'll tell it in note number 1. Okay, next, plus subsidy, trade union. Okay, this also will give it in note number 2. Okay, why we are adding it back? 30,000 we'll have to add back because they should not have subtracted it, but they have subtracted it, so we are going to have to add it back. Okay, next, right, that is done with, this is done, this is done. Next we'll move on to third one. Okay, tax levied by, I'll just put municipal authority tax. Okay, municipal authority tax, this will give it in note number 3. Okay, we'll give it in note number 3. That comes up to 24,000. Okay, next is packing charges. Okay, I'll just put PCK note 4. Okay, this will explain in note number 4 of why we are adding this 12,000 rupees. And next, late fees. Okay, so we'll have to add. Okay, so late fees is 5,000 rupees. That also we'll have to add. That explanation we'll give in note number 5. Okay, so now what is the value of supply? So here it will become 12,40,000 plus 30,000 plus 24,000 plus 12,000 plus 5,000. So this will come up to 13,11,000. Okay, or rather, oops, I should have written it out here, 13,11,000. Okay, so this will be the value of supply. Okay, I'll just explain these notes over here. Like I won't spend any more time writing everything one by one. Okay, so here note number 1. So here note number 1, the subsidy, right? Subsidy, government subsidy, section 15, subsection 2, clause E. As per section 15, subsection 2, clause E, any government price link subsidy is to be excluded from the value of supply. As it is already adjusted in the list price, then there is no further effect that is needed to be given. Okay, so you can write that and call it a day. Okay, right. Next we can move on to note number 2. Okay, note number 2 relates to the trade union subsidy. Okay, same clause, same section. Okay, 15, section 15, subsection 2, clause E. Okay, clause E deals with subsidy. Clause E, subsidy. Okay, next, so any subsidy other than, okay, this time you just have to use a negative wording. Okay, that's all. Okay, any subsidy other than a price linked government subsidy is not to be included in the value of supply. Basically, understood? Since such amount was already adjusted, the same is being added back to the value of supply. Is that clear? Right, that's all you have to write there. Okay, next, note number 3. So note 3 is what? Note 3 is related to the municipal authority taxes. Okay, so any tax other than GST and TCS is to be included in the value of supply as per section 15, subsection 2, clause A. How do you remember A? It is A, pay your taxes, right? So as per section 15, subsection 2, clause A, we'll have to add the value of any tax other than GST and TCS into the value of supply. Is that clear? Next, we'll go to note number 4. Okay, so note 4 is packing expenses, right? Packing expenses is incidental expenses. So section 15, subsection 2, clause C. What do you see? Incidental expenses. Okay, what do you see? I see incidental expenses. Okay, so as per section 15, subsection 2, clause C, any incidental expenses such as packing, commission, weighment that have been incurred by the supplier before or at the time of supply, and it is directly linked to the supply made to the recipient, then such amount is to be added to the value of supply. Okay, next, late fees, note 5. What will come in note 5? Note 5, any interest, penalty and late fees, any IPL, right? Any interest, penalty and late fees is to be included in the value of supply unless it is waived off by the supplier. Okay, this is as per section 15, subsection 2, clause D. Okay, D say delayed payment. Okay, is that clear? Now we'll move on. Okay, so they also came to 13,11,000. We also got 13,11,000. Okay, next. Now here, Hungry Point Private Limited gets an order for supply of processed food from Zyka Limited. Zyka Limited wants the consignment tested for gluten or specified chemical residues. Hungry Point Limited does the testing and charges a testing fee of 17,000 from Zyka Limited. Okay, basically, right. So here H is the supplier, okay? H is the supplier, right? And Z is the recipient, okay? So Z is asking H to conduct some to conduct some testing charges, okay? So H conducts the testing charges and bills it to Z, okay? Next, Hungry Point argues that such testing fees should not form part of the consideration, okay? So H is telling, suppose this, let's just say this 17,000 worth of testing that is done. So H is telling on this there should not be any or rather it should not form part of value of supply, okay? So is this correct? Okay, so obviously H has not read GST properly, or he has attended in during the COVID batch, right? So as per section 15, okay, you can just write as per section 15 subsection 2 clause C, okay? Any amount, any incidental expenses such as it could be packing expenses, commission expenses, right? Commission and weighment, testing charges or testing expenses, right, is to be included in the value of supply, is to be included in value of supply if such expenses were incurred before or at the time of supply, and if such expenses are directly linked to the supply to the recipient. If such expenses are linked to supply to recipient, okay? So this is just this is how you write the answer. We'll just check how what the suggested answer is, and then let's compare, okay? Right. Section 15 section 15 subsection 2 mandates the addition of certain elements to the transaction to arrive at the taxable value, okay? Section 15 subsection 2 clause C specifies that the amount charged for anything done by the supplier in respect of the supply at the time or before the time of delivery of goods or services shall be includable in the value, okay? So more or less it is the same, but it is preferable that you write it in the language of the suggested answer itself, okay? So here basically 15.2 talks about the addition of certain elements to arrive at the taxable value, basically, okay? Next, as per section 15 subsection 2 clause C, any amount that is charged for, or rather the amount that is charged for anything done by the supplier in respect of the supply at the time or before the time of delivery of goods or services shall be included in the value of supply. And next, write your conclusion. That's all. Next, since H Limited does the testing before the delivery of goods, the charges will be included in the taxable supply. Therefore, his argument is not correct. The testing fees of 17,000 should be added in the value of supply. Clear? Easy? Next, we'll move on to, okay. So Abai Private Limited is a registered manufacturer of premium ceiling fans. It sells fans exclusively through distributors appointed across the country. The company sells the ceiling fans to distributors at 7,000 rupees per fan, right, exclusive of taxes, meaning taxes have not been added into this, okay? Next, GST of 18% is applicable, right? Next, the company charges 1,000 rupees per fan from its distributor towards packing expenses, okay? Right. Next, it offers a discount of 10% per fan on fans supplied through distributors for a quarter, okay? So if the distributor sells 500 fans in the preceding quarter, then the company will get discount of 10%, meaning the terms are already agreed before the supply, okay? So post supply discount is allowed in this case, okay? Next, the company appoints Varun Sales as the distributor on 1st April and dispatches 750 fans on 8th April as stock for the quarter. Okay, so they dispatch 750 fans, okay, for April to June, and then Varun Sale places a purchase order of 1000 fans with the company for the quarter of July to September. Okay, next, the order is dispatched by the company on 10th June and the same is received by the distributor on 18th June. Okay, it doesn't matter. Next, the distributor makes payment of the fans on 26th June and avails applicable input tax credit. Okay, the distributor reports sales of, okay, he reports sales of 700 fans for the quarter April to June and 850 for the quarter July to September. Okay, examine the scenario and examine the scenario as per section 15 and compute the taxable value of the fans supplied by Abhay Limited to Varun Sales. Okay, make suitable assumptions wherever necessary. Okay, next, we'll just go through the answer. Okay, we'll just go through the answer here. Okay, so here as I told you, post supply discount is allowed if it satisfies the 4 conditions, okay, that is applicable to the post supply discount. Okay, we'll just read through. Okay, so as per section 15 subsection 3 of the CGST Act, it allows discount to be deducted from the value of supply if the same is given before or at the time of supply and if such discount has been duly recorded in the invoice. Okay, next, pre-supply discounts are recorded in the invoice. Pre-supply discounts recorded in the invoice are allowed for as deduction. We know that, right? We know that, so no problem. Next, we'll move on to the next part. Okay, further post supply discounts are allowed as a deduction only if it satisfies the 4 conditions. What are the 4 conditions? Firstly, that the terms of discount have to be previously agreed to. Okay, so the terms of discount have been previously agreed to. Okay, what is the second condition is that invoice wise working should be available. Okay, meaning the discount of or rather the discount amounts should be available invoice wise. Okay, so invoice wise working for discount should be available. Invoice wise working should be available. Okay, next, third one is ITC should have been reversed. ITC should have been reversed by the recipient. Okay, next, fourth point is that the supplier has to issue credit note. Supplier has to issue credit note. Okay, next, so those are the 4 conditions. Okay, next, in the above case, Varun Sales is entitled for discount of 10% for the quarter July to September as he has sold more than 500 in the preceding quarter. Since the entire stock for the quarter has already been dispatched in the month of June, the discounts of the fan supply to Varun Sales will be a post supply discount, and post supply discount will be allowed. Okay, because it is already agreed to and it is recorded in the invoice, so no problem. Okay, next, right, okay, fine. Now we'll just see one by one. Okay, I'll just move this aside. Tata, bye bye. Okay, now firstly the list price. Okay, so the list price is 7,000 per fan, right? So 7,000, we just put particulars and then amount. Okay, we'll calculate for one fan and then we'll multiply it by the number of fans. Okay, or you can multiply here only, no problem. Okay, so here 7,000 rupees per fan. Okay, next, plus packing charges. Okay, this will give it in note number 1. Okay, packing charges is 1,000 rupees per fan. Okay, here we are doing per fan. Okay, so next, again minus discount. again we'll give it in note 2. Okay, so discount is 10%. 10% of what? 10% on the list price, right? So here right, so here we are going to assume that it is in the September quarter, or so we can take the discount, right? So 7,000 into 10% will be 700 rupees, so minus 700, right? Next, what have they given anything else? No, there is no other detail, okay, relating to the amounts. Okay, next, just see if that is what is being done over here. Okay, so here 7,000 they've added, 7,000 they've added 1,000 rupees as packing expenses and discount of 700 rupees. Okay, next, value of one unit will become 7,300, right? Because if you solve all this, you'll get 7,300 and then multiplied by 1,000 fans. Okay, next, so this will be 7,300 per fan, value per fan, okay, into 1,000 units, because that was the original purchase order, right? Into 1,000 value of supply. Value of supply will be 7,300 into 1,000, so it will come up to 73 lakhs. Okay, right. Okay, cool, done. Is that clear? Is that clear? Next, we'll move on to the MCQs. Okay, so here Mr. Sumit sells goods worth 50,000 to an unrelated person. He also charges 2,000 packing expenses. The price on such goods in ordinary course of business is 70,000. Okay, so here what has happened here, he has sold it to 50,000 rupees to an unrelated person. Okay, so unrelated, we have to consider what is being sold to an unrelated person itself. Okay, so here 50,000 we can take as per, this is as per section 15(1), okay, which tells it has to be between if it is between an unrelated person and price is the only consideration, okay, then we can take this amount, okay, or else we'll have to follow the rules. Okay, we'll have to calculate the valuation as per the rules. Okay, and then 2,000 rupees as packing expenses. This is as per section 15 subsection 2 clause C. Okay, so the answer will be 52,000. Okay, next, right, we'll just go through the explanation. Where a transaction of supply or of goods or services is made between two persons who are not related to each other and the price is the sole consideration, the price actually paid or payable shall be the value of supply. Also incidental expenses charged. Okay, so basically the same thing is same thing, right? Next, I'll just ignore that answer part. Okay, next, Mr. Ajay entered into a contract on 5/9/23 for supply of machinery to Mr. Nitin. Okay, so 5/9/23 they entered into a contract. The machinery was supplied along with an invoice to Mr. Nitin on 20th September 2023. The value of the machinery is 1,50,000. The CGST SGST charge in the invoice is 13,500 each. Okay, so 13,500 divided by 1,50,000, meaning they have charged 9%, right? 9. Okay, so it is 9% plus 9%. Okay, next, other taxes separately charged in the invoice amounts to 10,000. Okay, the freight insurance charges incurred amount to 6,000 rupees. Commission of 4,500 was paid to the selling agent by Mr. Nitin on behalf of Mr. Ajay. Okay, what will be the, okay, so firstly we'll just start writing down the amounts. Okay, so firstly the 1,50,000, this is the base value or this is the list price. Okay, next, CGST and SGST, we don't have to take CGST and SGST to like into consideration. Okay, because as per section 15 subsection 2 clause A, any tax other than GST and TCS, meaning GST and TCS are not to be included. and any other tax is to be included. Okay, so GST and GST we will ignore. Okay, next, other taxes charged. Okay, so this other taxes we will have to add it. Okay, this will come to 10,000 rupees. Okay, next, this is as per other taxes, again as per section 15 subsection 2 clause A. Okay, next, freight and insurance charges incurred by Mr. Ajay. Okay, freight and insurance charges incurred by Mr. Ajay amounted to 6,000. Right, here freight and insurance. Freight and insurance, again this comes under section 15 subsection 2 clause C, right, which deals with incidental expenses. So this 6,000 rupees we'll have to add it out here. Okay, next, commission of 4,000. Again, commission is also section 15 subsection 2 clause C. Okay, or rather here they're talking about this commission is being paid on behalf of Mr. Ajay, meaning the recipient is paying to a third party on behalf of a supplier, meaning this will come under clause B, actually not clause C, it will come under clause B, because the recipient is paying to a third party on behalf of the supplier, right? So this 4,500 will also be added. Okay, so the answer will be 1,50,000 plus 10,000 plus 6,000 plus 4,500. That will come to 170,500, which is option number B. We'll see if they've also come. Yeah, they've also come to the same conclusion. Okay. Next, the selling price of a box is 80 rupees. Okay, for the pencil box sold to students of government schools, a company uses its CSR funds to pay the seller 55 rupees. Okay, next, so that the students only pay 25 rupees per pencil box. What will be the taxable value? Okay, so here it is a company, right? It is a non-government entity. Okay, non-government entity. So any subsidy from a non-government entity is not to be included, meaning we cannot subtract it from the value of supply. It cannot be subtracted from the value of supply. So here value of supply will be only 80 rupees. Okay, so it will be 80 rupees only. So the answer is A. We'll see what they have given. Yeah. Okay, so the value of taxable supply shall exclude subsidies provided by state government and or central government. In this case, it is being given by a non-government. The subsidy given is a non-government subsidy, so it will not be excluded from the taxable supply. Okay, next. Anand sells goods to Mr. Vikram for 50,000 rupees. Okay, and allows him a credit period of 30 days. Post that a penalty of 50 rupees per day shall be charged. Okay, Vikram makes the payment of 50,000 on 5th May. Mr. Anand waived off the penalty. If they waived off, then it is not to be included in the value of supply. Suppose it was not waived off, then add it. Okay, then calculate 50 rupees per day and number of days, and then you have to add it. But if it is waived off, then don't add it. So here the original price will only be the value of supply, which is B, 50,000. Okay, next. Question number 5. Okay, with reference to the provisions relating to the transaction under section 15, which of the following is not correct? Okay, we'll have to find whichever we think is false. Okay, central excise duty will not be included in the transaction value. Okay, for supply of tobacco. Okay, next I will just read through the questions. Okay, municipal taxes paid by the tenant will be included in the municipal taxes paid by the tenant will be included in the transaction value for renting services. This is somewhat true itself, right? This is true, right? Next, entertainment tax is to be included in movie ticket will form part of transaction value. Again, true. Okay, any tax other than GST and TCS will have to be added. Okay, customer makes payment of freight which is payable by the supplier. Okay, customer makes payment which is payable by the supplier directly to the service provider. However, the supplier does not include this amount in the invoice, and such amount will be included in the value of supplier. This is also correct. Okay, so like basically customer makes payment of freight which is supposed to be payable by the supplier. Okay, and that customer, which is the recipient, directly pays it to the third party on behalf of the supplier, right? But however, the supplier does not include, right? And now they're telling such amount will be included in the transaction value, which is correct, right? This is supposed to be correct. So if these three are true, right? So this will be the false statement. Just check it. Yeah. So the central excise duty will not be included in the transaction value for supply of goods. Okay, meaning the central excise duty should have been added. Okay, it should have been added. Okay, it should have been added to the value of supply as per section 15(2)(a), clause A. Okay, next. Discount given after the supply is deducted from the value if such discount is given as per the agreement at or before the time of supply. Correct. Next. Such discount is linked to the relevant invoices. Correct. Proportionate input tax is all reversed by the supply. Okay, also correct. So all of the above. Okay, so all of the above have to be satisfied. Okay, next. That's all. Fantastic. Done. Over. Okay, so all of these are 100% covered. I think by watching the first revision lecture, which is I think for around 1 hour, 1.5 hour, and watching the study mat questions and then solving this, I don't think there is any like easily 4 to 6 marks is 100% secured. Okay, cool. I'll see you guys later. Okay, tata, bye bye.